In this video, we want to fetch data from this API and then we display it in our application. Okay, that is the video. So if I've already created my HTML, okay, so this is nothing big. In this HTML, I have a container here which is called products container, and in this container I have products. So you can see I have products. I've just coded them manually, and they all have the same things. Okay, if you just check here, I have this product image which you are seeing here. So these are the products. I have them here. I coded them manually, so you can see I have the image. I have it in a class of product image. I have the product name, and then I have this detail which has the price, and also have these view details. Okay, this is our starting point, and then I simply duplicated this many times to produce something like this. So the styles for this I can just go through quickly. So I have here removing the browser set by setting margin and padding to that, and then I have the container and I set its mean height to 100 VH so that it can have a height by default of 100 VH. Background color I gave it blue, as you can see it is blue, and then I displayed the items in the grid, and then I used this grid template columns repeat auto fit. So they are going to be auto fit min-max. The minimum width of each of these items is 18 rem, and on a smaller screen they can. So this is to ensure that they are responsive. Okay, so you can see on smaller screen the items are responsive, and I did not need to write any media query for that. Then I put items in the center by using place items center. Then I give them a gap and then a padding to this container. You can see on top and bottom there is 3 rem, and on the sides there is 1 rem. Okay, and then for the product, I displayed the product flex so that I can put these items, the image, the price, and everything in the center. I give it flex direction column, justify and line item center, gap, background color is white, border radius is 5 pixels, and padding is of 1 rem. So this is how I came to have that. Okay, so in my JavaScript, so I linked down here, I have JavaScript, and in my JavaScript I have nothing. We are going to write now. Our task is to fetch data from this API here, this endpoint, and then we replace these products with the products on this endpoint. So if we go to this endpoint here, copy this endpoint and go in a new tab, simply paste it there and run it, you will see that I made a typo, just like that. You will see that you have a list of products. So you have this list of products, and I guess there are 20 here. Okay, so that is what we want. Okay, so how do we fetch data in the API? So we are going to use Async-Await in this video. If you want to see the other method using promise, I have a video, you can check it, comparing how to fetch data using promise and Async-Await. In this video, we are going to use Async-Await because it is the one which is very simple and straightforward syntax. Okay, so I'm just going to first store this API endpoint in this API route, like this one, like so. So let me just store it here. So this is our API endpoint, and then we can go ahead and create a function. So let's create a function, and let's say this function, we can give it a name, fetch and display data. So want it to fetch and at the same time to display data. Okay, and since fetch and, let me just make this one capital, fetch and display data, this is the function I want to create. So this function here is going to the one to fetch the data, and we know we can just say const response. So you can just say const response is equal to, and we can just say await, and we can await fetching data from this API endpoint. Okay, and now you can see here there is a warning here of await, that the expression are only allowed using async functions and at the top level of module. So what we can do, we make this function async by putting the keyword async before it, and now you can see this one, this error goes away. So here we get our response back, and then we can get the data out of this. So we can just say const data, and we get data by getting the response, and we convert it into JSON. Okay, so this response by default is not a JSON object, so here we convert it into JSON, and we can have this data, and we can just say console.log data. And if we go in our console, let me just go to the console. So inside the console here, let's see, we have to run the function. So just simply get this function and run it down here. Okay, let's wait. Pending promise. Okay, so let's see, what did we do? We have async function fetch data. So we have here, this one is supposed to be await. Okay, so we have response. We first wait for this response to come back. So when we say await, we first go and fetch this data here. When it comes back, we save it in a response, and then we get this response, we convert it into a JSON. We await for this task to be done. When it finishes, we save the results into the data, and now we can have access to the data. So if you go back now, you have our products, we have them here. Okay, so we can just go ahead and see how one item looks like. So it has the category, description, ID, image, price, rating, and it has also a title. Okay, that is great. Now the problem here we are having, we are not handling the error. If for instance I go here and I add I, so we're just going to have a problem, but we are not seeing where the problem is coming from. So we have to capture the error. Okay, so to capture the error, just come and wrap this in a try catch. Okay, just do try. Okay, try, and here we catch the error like so. So in the try block is where we fetch the data. So we are like, try doing this. If there is any error, then we can just say, for instance, console.log, and we can say something went wrong. Okay, you can say something went wrong, and we can also console the error. Here is something went wrong, and we also console the error. So right now, if we go back, it can capture somehow the error. Okay. So you can say is not valid a JSON, and you can see here the error is coming from line 9. Something went wrong, syntax, and you can say syntax error, unexpected token, this blah blah is not a valid JSON. So now what we can do, we can remove this. Okay, so we are handling our error right now. So right now we can still get the data. Let's check that. Okay, we have the data. So what we want after getting the data, so here we fetch the data. So here we fetch, the data, and then after getting the data back, we want to display data. Okay, so we can just create a display function here. So you say display data, and this data display data, not feature. I just want to create a function called display data. I don't know why this extension is becoming a pain in the ass. And here we have this function. So we haven't created this function. We can go ahead and display this function because here we have the data. So we can create a function that is going to display for us the data. Okay, so want to display this data in the UI. Okay, so down here I'm just going to come and say function display data, and this function takes in data. As you can see here, it is taking in data here. So down here we are going to create this function display data, and this function is going to be looping through the data and display it on the UI. And we can just say data.fetch, not .fetch but .forEach. So we can use .forEach, and it will have access to a product, and on this product you can render this product on the UI. Okay, so we can just first have how the product should look like. Okay, we can just say const, okay, product template. We can just say product template, and we can get the template of our product, how it should look like. And this template is this item or the product we have here in the HTML. So we want our products to look like these ones. So copy this product from HTML, this one, all of it, just copy it and bring it to be the template here. So paste it just like so, and then now we can dynamically replace these ones. So to see that, we can first console the data here. So let's say console.log data, and then want to see each single item how it looks like. So if you go to the item here, you see we have the image, we have the price, and the title. Okay, so this is a single product. So what we can just do in our function down here, where there is image here, we can remove this image, and then we can replace it dynamically using product. So you can just say product dot image, and you can see this one here. If you go back here in this item, we have this image, and this is the key we are targeting. So for the price, it will be product dot price. For the title, it will be product dot title. Okay, so now I'm just going to copy this. Okay, and then down here where we have this name here, I'm just going to replace this with product dot title, like so. And then for the price, I'm also going to replace this with product dot price. Okay, so we have replaced all our template. The only what we want is we want to replace this, the content of this container. So we have our container here. You get, we have this container here, product container. So what we want is to replace dynamically using JavaScript to replace all these products in this container. We can replace them with the data from the API. Okay, so what we are going to do, next step, let's first select the, so I'm just going to go on top here, and I say const products container. So products container is equal to document dot query selector, and here we are selecting it with dot products. So you can just come by the way you copy this name from here, so that you don't make any typos. So just paste this name here. products container, and you can console.log this products container to really confirm you have selected it, and you can see on top it is there. Okay, so next, so what we want is to get all these products here, and we put them inside that. So down here under the forEach, after creating the template, we can just say for each item, just say go to products container dot insert. We are going to use this method called insertAdjacentHTML. Okay, products container dot insertAdjacentHTML. Now this method takes in the first parameter as the position where you want to put the items, and we are going to put them here at before end, and then you now also put what you want to place at this position. So in on this container, what they mean, this inside here where we have this one, this is before end. Okay, so before end is here. So this space here, they will not remove these ones, they will just go before ending this container, and then they will place our items inside here. That's what before end means. And what is going to be adding is going to be adding this template. Okay, so after doing that, I guess we should be able to get our products. Let's first see. Yep, so we have all these products now coming from the API. Look at that. But then we still have these ones. So one way we can do, we can just go and remove all these products. Okay, we can remove all these products. Okay, so we can just go and remove all these products. So all these ones, I'm just going to comment them out like so. So when you come back, and you can see they are here. Now we have the ones we are getting from the API, all of them. This is really cool. Okay, this is really cool. We can even take it one more step further. When we fetch, we want to show a rotating spinner. Okay, we can show a rotating spinner when we have the data back. Okay, so what we can do right now is we can we have a spinner. I already have a spinner here. If you check inside the products container, I have a spinner. Let me remove, put it there, and you can see the spinner is there, is here. Okay, you can see the spinner is here, and if you want to see how I made the spinner code is down here. Let me just scroll. So we have this ID, display inline block, give it height and width, give it a border radius, and I also give it border top color, only a border top color. And then I have this animation spin, 1 second, ease in out infinite, and you can just see the keyframe. I just only have these two. Okay, I have this keyframe 2, which is just rotate 360 degrees. Okay, so that is cool. What we can do is, one, we can display none, I guess. By default we can just say where we have the spinner here in HTML. Where is our spinner? Here where we have this loading. Instead of inline block, we can just say display none. Okay, we can just say display none, and you can see it is gone. But then we can bring it with JavaScript. Okay, we can just bring it with JavaScript, and where we are fetching data here, we can display, we can just display the spinner as we are waiting for this to happen. Okay, we can just put this spinner here, I think we can just say spinner. So let's first select the spinner. So in JavaScript we can get this spinner, const spinner is equal to document dot query selector. Okay, and it is by ID, so we can just say hash loading. So this is the spinner, and by default it is hidden. Okay, by default it is hidden. So here we can just, as we are fetching data, we can maybe display the spinner, and we can just say spinner dot class dot style. So you could just say dot style dot display, and here we can just say display is going to be inline block. The word display has a problem. Display spinner dot display dot inline block. So at this point, when it is doing this, so when we fetch data and data is back here on displaying the data, in this display data function, we can first hide the spinner. Okay, at this point where we insert here, this here where we insert, so we can just say spinner dot display dot none. Okay, I think that one should be able to work like that. When data comes, it disappears. That is cool. Let's just see it again. So you can see right now it is not being seen because the data is really coming so fast. Okay, you can even just go here and you make the internet to be slow, network, and you can just get it from here where it says where is it? We can just see anyways, I wanted to slow down the network, so here says slow 3G here. So when we put this slow 3G, you will see that the fetching of the data is going to take more time, and we'll have our spinner showing up for some time. You get? So you see that? Okay, so thank you so much for watching this episode. I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much.